And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, Darren here, Cross Timbers Farm. Welcome to 8th Day Chronicles. Glad to have you with us on this beautiful, gorgeous, stunningly beautiful October day. This is the day the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Man, what a pretty day. We're going to go and get the rake unhooked, and we are going to get the Maxx / Redlands FMRB 330 mini round baler hooked up, wired up, oiled, and get ready to start baling here soon. It's about 1:30 p.m. We're going to give this sun a little bit longer, especially in our test plot, to do a little more drying, then we're going to start baling. All right, baler's hooked up, pre-oiled. Everything's been checked. We're ready to start baling this top 1/3 of our main hay field. And I do believe this top 1/3 is drier than our test plot, the bicycle test. Okay, let's do a twist, one more twist test. I'm gonna come over to another little area, get a little hay here. Really good color. Fold it over. That's pretty good. All right, where we twisted it broke. All right, all indications are that this hay's ready to bale. We're gonna bale one bale, stop. The main reason for stopping, check the moisture content. We have our new moisture meter with us. We'll check the moisture content. If it's good, we'll check everything else, the twine wrap working properly, all that type stuff. And if everything looks good, we'll keep baling. Let's get at it. Hey, our first bale of hay is done. Let's take a look at it. I really like this Tytan baling twine. Excuse me with my back to the camera right quick while I tie this off. Okay, that's a good bale of hay. All right, probably right around 45 to 50 pounds. Brand new moisture meter. Okay, let's see how this thing does. $15.4. All right, good so far. $16.3. These moisture meters are not just instant. You have to let them register. 11.5. I stuck that in a little deeper. 14.1. You can see if you bury this thing all the way in these mini round bales, you're 3/4 of the way through. So if you go about halfway, to about there, there's about halfway. 9.6. We will keep baling. We're going to check them as we go, at least a couple more. top 1/3 of the field is baled. Very good quality hay, very minimal amount of it. I thought there'd be a little more than this, but there's not. The yield was, if we would have been depending on this for our hay season, we'd go bankrupt. This is my fault. I planned this wrong. With the hay season getting moved so forward in the late spring, early summer, I should have only counted on 3 cuts and maybe even just 2 off of our main hay field and 3 off the test plot. Instead, we went 3 off the main hay field and 4 off the test plot. I should have eliminated one of those. I have 1 bale that I have yet to check, and I'm going to check it now. We're in the test plot now. The top 1/3 of the main hay field's done, baled, put up in the shed. Now we're ready to start on this, and I'm concerned. Earlier today, the hay in that top third felt, as far as this feeling, and the old-fashioned way of testing, tested better than this. Let's give it a twist test. Right here, just in a, okay. Boy, it's got good color. All right, we got some right here. All right, let's give it a good go around. Okay, it sprung out pretty good. And it broke. Okay, let me get some more. And let's do the bicycle twist test. Okay, you ready? Let's start pedaling. Okay. Maybe where this has been in the sun longer, it's going to test better. We got our moisture meter. Not a lot of hay here. We're going to be a bellish pretty quick. 3 decent windrows on 2/10 of an acre is all they are. We're going to run through, bale 1 bale, check the moisture. We have about a half of a bale in our bale chamber from the top 1/3 of the main hay field. So we'll check it, and then we'll check the next full bale from here and go from there. Let's get started before it gets any later. It's about 4:30 p.m. and this time of year it's getting dark early, so, and the dew will start falling pretty early, so we're gonna bale this now or never. Dad, Jim, that's a good looking bale of hay. I hope to goodness it don't test high. That is good looking hay. All right, let's tie off our end right quick. Here it is. I've had people ask about this, said, Darren, how do you deal with where it just cuts the lace twine? And really, if you're just transporting this from there to there, right into your barn to feed your animals, it's probably no big deal. However, I like to, because our hay is sold, I take the end, push it up, put my knee here, give it a really good hard pull, and I take this twine end and wrap it about 3 or 4 times under one of those that tied really tight. Okay, usually the beginning end you don't have to worry about because it gets wrapped up in it. All right, let's check some moisture. This one's got hay in it from that back field. It was about a half a bale, or maybe a little more than half. So, let's see what we got. Give it just about 20 seconds. It'll finally register usually. 17.2. We ain't got but 2 more windrows to go, so we ain't gonna get much hay off this. Very little hay, but this section of 2/10 of an acre, but it's gonna be good hay, premium hay. But if we can keep our moisture content to an acceptable level. All right, let's get started back. Right in the center. And this reads upside down. Let me see if I can show you this. You may be able to see it. 14. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera upside down. 14.5, right in the center. All right. We like about a windrow and a half. Well, maybe not quite a half. Let's continue. Done baling. We picked up all the hay out of this field we can get. We went around a couple of strips and picked up some little strips that we missed. It's pretty clean. We have, according to our bale indicator rod, and I was watching it pretty close the last lap or two, we have like 7/8 of a bale. It's close, but I just can't get any more hay picked up. There's no more left. So we're going to manually twine wrap this bale. And I've showed this before, but in case you haven't saw that video, I'm going to show you one more time how you manually twine wrap a bale without it reaching its density to automatically do it. I don't like leaving hay in my baler, even though in probably 3 days we're going to be baling again. I still want this out of my baler. So I'm going to show you how. Rule number 1, if you do this, never get around this and drop this twine arm with a PTO running. Okay, right here, my finger's touching it. Right on top of this worm gear box. You see that little silver tab? Right on top of the worm gear box. That is the worm gear box override. Okay, my PTO is off. See, no power. My tractor is idling, but there is no power to the PTO. When you push this worm gear override lever, make sure your arm or no parts of your body is anywhere near this twine arm. Make sure everybody's out of the way. If you have someone helping you, have them stand back because this twine arm's gonna fall. and you don't want it to catch none of your clothing or your arm, nothing like that. Okay, here we go. I'm just gonna push this worm gear override, and the alarm's gonna start going off. Okay, now I'm gonna take this loose twine, I'm gonna go to the other side. It's a little bit annoying with this alarm going off, but it's part of it. I'm gonna take this twine, and I'm gonna stuff it right down in between this bale. It's pretty tight. All right. We're gonna give it a try right there. Okay. Now, I'm gonna get back on my tractor. And I'm gonna start my PTO and see if it'll take off twine wrapping. If it don't, that means I didn't get that twine stuff down in along that bale enough. All right, I'm gonna bring my RPMs up a little bit. All right, my PTO is engaged. There it goes. That's it. Disengage my PTO, turn the tractor off. My emergency brake is still set. All right, yeah, that's about almost a full bale. I mean, it was, when I was watching that bale indicator rod, it was bouncing right at the full mark, really close. Good pull. Because we sell our hay and it's handled. It gets handled when we handle it, putting it in the sheds. Then it gets handled, loading it on someone's truck, and then when they get home, it gets handled again. In other words, our hay gets handled a lot. And I want my customers to pick up a nice bale that's good and tight and the twine's not coming loose. All right. That's a good looking bale of hay. Let's check our moisture right in the center. .2. We're finished. We're finished with day one of our last cut. We have 2/3 of our main hay field left to go. And we'll be baling that in about 2 to 3 days, depending on moisture content. Probably won't be tedding it anymore. It's been tedded a couple of times, and now we're just letting the good Lord's sunshine and the breeze and all do its work. I hope it dries down better than this. This was tough. Lesson learned about cutting hay this late in the year, for me anyway, when you're talking premium hay. But this is premium hay. It's been tough getting the dry down where we wanted it. Thanks for being with us. I really appreciate it, and we will be back with you a couple of days as we rake and bale the 2/3 of our main hay field. It's a little thicker hay and should produce a little better. Still not like normal, but we'll produce a little more for some hay for some folks, some good people that we're going to try to take care of. Thank you for being with us. I really appreciate it. Man, we got the best subscribers on YouTube. I know I sound like a broken record saying that, but it's true. During the Hurricane Helene, we had so many people reach out to us with concerns, or hey, are you okay? Is your family okay? all that type stuff. Sent comments and private messages, hey, we're praying for you and your communities. Thank you. You just don't know how much that means to me. To everybody that left a comment, and a special shout out to Tom and Sally from Chigger Hill Adventures for reaching out, what you did for donations to our community, and for the prayers, and for Mr. Steve Carver for reaching out from Carver Equipment. He reached out to us unsolicited. How many dealers do you know that you buy hay equipment from a hay dealer, a farm equipment dealer, and years later, after you've been his customer, just out of the blue, they reach out to you in support and prayers and sending their support and goodness. Thank you, Mr. Carver. Thank you, Tom and Sally. Thank you to everyone who reached out. We really appreciate it. Come back with us. We're not finished. This is our last cut for 2024. We've already done all of our cutting. We still have one field left to rake and bale, and we're just waiting on dry down. We'll be back with you in a few days. Thank you. God bless you and your family. Hope y'all have a fantastic day.